Okay, so this will be moving from the trial balance and doing the financial statements. Here is the trial balance, so this is after all the journalizing and posting has been done. All the accounts have been listed with their ending balances, and then the debits need to equal the credits before you continue on. The next thing that we would be doing would be the income statement, which is where we compute the net income or net loss for the fiscal period. So doing the income statement, we would have the name of the company, income statement. Now this one is for 2 months, so it's for the month of July and August. So for 2 months ended August 31, and the year would be proper. On the income statement, you're going to have revenue accounts because you're comparing revenue and expenses. As you look at your trial balance, see that you have an income from services for $21,378. You're going to indent here, and that's going to be the name of your account. And because we just have one, we're going over to this column. This is not a credit column, nor is this a debit column. It's just two amounts. That's the only revenue we have, so we're going to start with our expenses now. And looking at your expenses up here, we're going to enter those expenses, starting with wages expense, and we're going to enter them in this first column here. And then we're going to keep entering these expenses and their amounts. So we're listing all of these so that we can draw a line under this yellow here. We're going to draw a line under the yellow, add them up. That's going to be our total expenses, and we're going to put our total expenses over here. Now this has been a profitable time for our company because our revenue exceeds our total expenses, so we have a net income. So our last line is going to say net income, and we're going to subtract these two numbers, and when we do that, we have a net income of $10,534. So I'm going to put green here to let you know that you want a single line at the top of the green and a double line underneath it. Notice where the dollar signs are. The dollar sign is in the first one in this column and in the total, and over here it's in the first in the list. So that's how those are set up. Now we're going to do the statement of owner's equity, which is basically taking the capital account and showing the effect of drawing and in revenue and expenses to bring the capital account up to date. So going to the next page, we're going to do Carly's Car Care Statement of Owner's Equity, and again it's for the 2 months ended August 31st. You always start with the capital on the first day of the fiscal period. So for July and August, the capital would be the capital balance on July 1st. And you would look at your general ledgers and see what the balance is there. If you had any additional investments, they would also be listed here, but we don't. So we're going to skip that. We're going to go to the net income for July and August, and that comes from the income statement that we just did. Remember the $10,534? And then we're going to subtract the withdrawing for July and August. So this comes out of your out of your account for drawing or off of your trial balance. The owner withdrew $6,300. So their net income is $10,534. They drew this much out for personal use. The difference is their increase in capital. Now it's an increase because the net income is greater than the draw. So we're going to subtract these two numbers. The increase is $4,234, which will make our capital at the end of August, the beginning capital plus this increase in capital, so our ending capital is $46,234. And by the time we get into Chapter 5, we will actually make your capital account come up with this balance. Last, we're going to do the balance sheet. The balance sheet is the assets, liability, and owner's equity. And out of tradition, the term assets here is centered. Okay? Start listing the assets, starting with cash. We're going to put them in the first column, so this is coming right off of your trial balance. Accounts receivable, looking at your trial balance, prepaid insurance, equipment, and then we're going to total the assets, so we're going to draw a single line under this yellow number, and we're going to put our total assets over here. Now the total assets are going to have a double underline under this number, so I'm just going to put I'll just put a light green here. So there's no line above this, but there is a double line under the green here. Now very importantly, because of tradition, you leave a blank line on a balance sheet. But now we're going to take liabilities and look at your trial balance, and there's only one account that ends on the word payable. So therefore there's only one liability account. And because there is just one, we're going to put it over here. If there were more than one, it would go in this column, and then we draw a line and put the total liabilities to the right. Again, we're going to leave a blank line. Then we're going to put down owner's equity. Now the owner's equity is M. Carly Capital, and the amount of it is coming from the statement of owner's equity. It's this amount right here, $46,234. So that's what's going to go right here. And then we're going to add these together. So the assets equal the sum of the liabilities plus the owner's equity. So if you add liabilities and owner's equity together, you're going to get the same number here and here. And over here you describe what you've done. It's the total liability and owner's equity. So balance sheet, assets, balances with the total of the liabilities and owner's equity. So there's a single line above this green and a double underline underneath. And that concludes this video.